أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. By the barakah of Sidi Shaykh, Sidi Mohamed Faouzi Karkari, قدس الله سره. Notes from lecture of April 15, 2024, part 3. Before starting this video, I would like to say that this work would never have seen the light without Sidi Shaykh. If something is wrong, it will be from myself, and everything that is correct is from Sidi Shaykh. In the previous part of this lecture, Sidi Shaykh explained the importance of relying on Allah when facing hardships. He emphasized that those who return to Allah and place their trust solely in Him will witness Allah's face in every direction. In this part of the lecture, Sidi Shaykh spoke about escaping everything to seek the Lord of everything. Sidi Shaykh said that the station of excellence, Maqam al-Ihsan, is to worship Allah as if you see Him. So, even if one does not understand the pure meanings, al-ma'ani, of the station of excellence in their true sense, at least one should understand it as the station of imagination. Allah has permitted worshipping Him through imagination. No one has denied this. Everyone understands what it means to worship Allah as if you see Him. It signifies that one will not see Him, but as if they see Him. So one should imagine that they see Him and try to worship Allah and recall His witness, ma'iyah, in this manner. To worship Allah through imagination is opposed to worshiping Him in a dry spiritual state, jafa'. Worshipping Him in a dry spiritual state is a form of worship that leads to associating partners with the Lord, even though one is in the heart of worship. In such a state, one associates with Allah, oneself, others, worries, sorrows, and so on. Sidi Shaykh added that when one directs oneself towards the presence of the Lord through imagination as a starting point, it will lead them to become oblivious to all others except God, until nothing of themselves remains. And if nothing of themselves remains, then nothing else remains. This is because the appearance of thingness stems from one's selfishness, and the annihilation of this selfishness results in a complete absence from all other than God, and an observation of the presence of the Lord through an unveiling and a direct witnessing. Then one realizes that Allah sees them, and will see Him with what He subhanahu wa ta'ala saw them, know Him with what He know them, get closer to Him with what He got closer to them. Sidi Shaykh said that this state of obliviousness comes only by fleeing from everything to the Lord of everything. Such fleeing occurs only when one experiences harm from all else, because if one finds comfort with thingness, they will not be able to detach from it. If someone claims that everything is easy for them, while fleeing from everything, they are being dishonest and hypocritical. One does not flee from something unless they are fed up with it. The worker does not run away from work except if he gets fed up with work. The husband does not run away from his wife except if he gets fed up with his wife. The father does not flee from his children except if he gets fed up with his children and their treatment. This is how fleeing occurs. So if one projects this onto oneself, they will discover that they love everything and find themselves seeking everything other than God, as siwa, more than they seek the Lord. They will also notice that their actions do not align with their words, and that they do not turn to the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, one should not claim the morals or the virtues of those whom Allah has favored in this blessing. Rather, one should follow their path little by little, and when faced with a trial, learn not how to solve the problem, but how to flee from it to Allah. One should realize that this trial is a sign of goodness and a beginning of eternal happiness. It signifies that one will be in a relationship with the Lord Almighty, and their night will turn into day, and they will become on the path of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sidi Shaykh explained that one feels tightness at night, and the mind begins to dwell and organize all the problems and curses while forgetting the blessings. On the other hand, in the day, one forgets and starts to search for solutions. That's why, if one flees the night, it will turn into day, and one will be guided to the light of Allah. Sidi Shaykh added that all of this is a way to stimulate the patient for searching and return to the Lord, fleeing and seeking the breath of the All-Merciful, without looking back. This is similar to the example of Sayyidina Lut alayhi salam, who fled from his people without looking back, even forgetting the mother of his children, not turning back to see her. So one should learn to sit with Allah, learn to flee to Allah, and learn to see the days not as days, but as darkness and misery, and try to search in this misery for the blessing and nearness of the Lord Almighty. In this way, Allah will choose and elevate the spiritual aspirations of the servant if they are sincere. Those who are deceitful, however, have no chance in this regard. One should not be hypocritical with the Lord, for He knows all of one's secrets and states. If one pretends, it will become a trial for them in this life, and they will be judged on it before the meeting of the Lord. So one should know how to target this objective and avoid becoming the target of Taghut and the essence of misguidance. So that was all for this video. Alhamdulillah الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق اللهم لك الحمد اللهم لك الحمد اللهم لك الحمد اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.